All right, let's go through the functionality of the Mt4 platform. So first of all, you guys already know from the previous videos that the Mt4 platform is an electronic trading platform that connects to your broker account and that is used to buy and sell currencies. So we want to go through these different prompts and different um, screens and panels so that you guys will know what each one of these buttons mean. That way you can analyze your charts easily and buy and sell easily. All right, so the first thing we notice is that the panel is here, the Market Watch panel, which is controlled by this up and down the Market Watch button right here. You see? So this is the currency pairs. This is the bid price. This is the ask price. The bid price is the price that we would sell a currency pair at. The ask price is the price we would buy a currency pair. So if we thought the market was going down, we would enter into a sell and we would sell at the bid price. So we will get into how to do that later. But for now, just look at the, just know that or understand that this right here, the market watch, is the symbol for the currency pairs. This down here is a navigator. This is more of your almost like a properties or account menu. So this will have your demo account number and log in, and it also have your live account information here. So if you wanted to go into either one of these, you would simply right click and log into that trade account. But as we demonstrated in the last video, this is already logged into our demo account, so we're going to leave it here. All right, and then the indicators. This is an indicator is something you put on your chart to help you trade. So let's say you want to put a moving average on your chart, this is the moving average indicator. You drag it to your chart and you can change the period if you want to, color, and you click OK. And now that red indicator is on your chart. The same with the rest of these indicators. If you're not familiar with the type of indicator that's over here, for example, you see Bollinger Bands, you can go read about it. It'll tell you that this was created by, I believe, some guy named John Bollinger, and it will tell you the way it works and how to use it. And if you want to put it on your chart, you just click, drag over, and release. And click OK. And these are the Bollinger Bands. These three green lines right here. All right. And we'll go over how to remove. And actually, let's just go over it now. So if you want to remove an indicator from the chart, you need to go to the Charts tab, Indicator List, click it, delete, click it, and delete. If I was to click the Edit button, I could just edit the parameters for that indicator if I needed to. All right, so that's what we have down here. We have the Indicators menu as well, and then you have Expert Advisors. Okay, an Expert Advisor is an automated trading program. So if I created an Expert Advisor, or even purchased an Expert Advisor, I would click here and I could drag it onto the chart. Okay, and this is a demo account, but if you were trading on a live account, you would need to click Allow Live Trading, and you would click OK. And you see this sad face over here in the corner? You probably could barely see it here. The sad face means the program or the bot or the expert advisor, as they call it, is not ready to trade. So we would need to click Auto Trading to allow this bot to actually trade for us. All right, and then you see, let's see, it's still, the frown is still upside down, so it's still not ready. So we would need to go here and look at the about. Let's see, flip through the menus and see why it's not ready to trade. More than likely, it'll be this button right here, Allow Live Trading, even though this is a demo account. And you see it flipped from a sad face to a happy face. So now the bot is working. Now the expert advisor or bot, you can call it expert advisor. You'll see people call it robot, different things. And let me do this really quick. Let me take this off real quick before. Expert advisors. Okay, so in order to remove this off the chart, you right click expert advisors and we'll go to remove. All right. So an expert advisor is created its code is created in what is referred to as it's a compiler called Meta-Editor. Now MT4 has its own programming language, and you can read about that from the MQL5 website. So what they do is, and this is, I actually made a video on YouTube on the Stamps FX YouTube channel where you can showing you how to create an expert advisor and even showing you how to create an indicator. So you can go look those videos up if you want more detail. But basically an expert advisor, if you're not familiar with it, it's an automated trading program. You tell the program when you would like to execute the trade. For example, let's just say if I created a bot that says when the candlestick crosses let's say over the moving average, we would sell to the downside. We would sell if it crossed above the moving average to the upside. If it's a bullish candle, we would buy. And what the bot would do is it would place that trade for you, and then you also put in the parameters when you want the trade to close. So we would say we have a stop loss of 10 pips and a take profit of 30 pips. So it would open up the trade and close the trade out. So you can read more about that on the MQL5 website, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that as well. But that's what an expert that's what an expert advisor is. All right. So let's go through the menu up here. This is going to be the create a new chart button. Okay, you will notice this list does not contain all of the currency pairs because there is a ton of currency pairs. So what we want to do is you can right click and you want to go to symbols. And if you want to add a currency pair, you click on it and you click show. Now if you notice what just happened here, I don't know if you can see, you just seeing that pop up, but now this currency pair is showing. So let me show you again with AUD/CHF or the franc here. Alright, see it's not down here. I highlighted it, I hit show, and it shows up. Same with the Australian dollar and yen. Shows up. So you can go through here and populate or show all of these items, or you can right click and go to show all, and I'll show you that too. So let's go here. It shows all the currency pairs. But if you don't plan on trading all the currency pairs, then you may not want to show all of them. It also shows your Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum. It also shows all this stuff down here as well. Your natural gases, you got gold, silver, and then all the rest of the currency pairs. All right, so that is the Market Watch panel, and that is how you add the currency pairs. Now let's go through this top menu right here. So if you notice, this menu stops right here at these little lines that go up. This menu right here, if you wanted to remove the menu, you will go to View, Toolbars, Standard, and it takes the menu away. So let's put it back. View, Toolbars, Standard, and it puts it back. So let's talk about this standard menu. The standard menu, this is for your currency pairs. So we went over that. This is for your profile. So if you added all these currency pairs and you had a certain chart set up over here that you wanted to save, now normally MT4, when you log out, it will automatically save your platform the way you have it. So when you log back in, you won't have to go in and add all the currency pairs. But if you wanted to save a profile, you would right click after you have your profile set up the way you want it, and you would, okay, no, you wouldn't right click. That's for the templates. So for this, you would just go here, drop down menu, and just click save profile as, and name your profile. As you can see, I have a few set up here. And if I click on one, let's just say the Euro profile, this is what it looks like. So I'll show you why it looks like this in a minute. And the reason it looks like this is because when I set this profile up, I set it up under this menu right here. So I had 3 charts open, And let me just show you how I open 3 charts. Let's move all these charts. And this button right here, it opens up all the charts that you have open. So let's say I wanted to open up this chart window. And I'm going to do this because usually it'll show you like this. All right, and let's say I want to open up this window, chart window. You see it put this new chart window over the previous chart window, but if I go to this button, it will show me both of the charts I have up. And that's what that button is. And if I want to flip back over to, let's say, this chart, I double click it and it opens up. And let's say I want to open up this chart window, this chart window. All right, so let's go to this button right here, which is the arrange windows as non-overlapping titles. So it puts everything side by side. If I only wanted to look at these currency pairs and I wanted my chart to be set up like this, or my platform to be set up like this every time, I could save this as a profile. So let me show you here. This button right here, the profiles button. Save profile as, and it's going to, this pop-up box will come up. Save it as demo profile. Click OK. Now, if okay, let me go through and I'm gonna switch the profile for you. Let's go back to this right here. All right, here, let me just do this. I'm gonna delete these. Let's say I'm here. I have this open, and I say I want to open up my old profile because I'm no longer interested in this pair, or I want to switch gears for a second. So then you come over here and you, where's the profile? Okay, the demo profile is the one we just created. You click on it and it brings up your profile that you just saved. See, these are the currency pairs. And if you format the chart, it'll also save that format. Okay, so that's what the profile button does, and that is how you create a profile and how you bring that profile back up. Now this button we've already looked at. This takes away the currency pairs, and if you click it, it adds it back. This button is a data window, which puts a window here. It will tell you on a chart, it just tells you certain data about, so you see I'm moving bar from bar to bar. It tells you information about that bar. Okay, so I'll just show you here. Let's go to the candlestick chart and blow this up so it can be clear for you. If I want to see the high and the low of this bar right here, I got to put the pointer right here over it, and it gives me information about this bar. It tells me what the open was, the high, low, close, volume, time, and date. Okay, we went over this button already. This is for your, this is the Navigator. This is for your account settings and the indicator and expert advisors. If I uncheck that box, that goes away. If I check the box, it comes back. If this box is checked and you don't see it, it's probably at the bottom, and you would need to hover the mouse to when you to the point where you see these double arrows right here, and then hold the button down and you can adjust this, move it up or down. So usually if you don't see it, it's just way down here, so you can bring that up. All right, the terminal. This is one we have not talked about before. So as I click the terminal, notice that this bottom down here, you can make this bigger if you would like. So let's go here, expand this up. All right, so when you initially open this up, it is going to default to your mailbox. These are messages from MetaTrader. Okay, so you notice that this tells you about ordering trading robots, tells you about your new account registration. This is actually from Traders Way Corporation, and your trading platform is MetaTrader. So a lot of these come from MetaTrader. Tells you about holiday hours and things like that. All right, and I just double click that and it opened over here. So see how it tells you about different things. All right, so you notice this has tabs at the bottom down here. So your trade tab is the tab that you're going to be on and looking at the most. Because if I look at this, if I was to deposit money, this is a demo account. Remember, we deposited $50 into our demo account, so it's not real money. A demo account is money that you play around with to practice trading. You're on a demo server, you're not on a live server. So remember, we put the $50 in here from the last video, and this is why it's reflecting here, because it pulled that information in. When it comes time for you to set up your live account, it will be the same way. You will create a new live account, and when you log in, you will see your balance down here, your balance, equity, and your free margin. Okay. As you place a trade, it will also show up in this window because this is the trade window. It just don't have any trades in here. It's just showing you your balance at the moment. So if I was to go to new trade, which is how you place a trade, and let me just look at this real quick, and we'll go over this later. Okay, let's say that this is, okay, let's say this is going up and we wanted to buy. Let's say we thought this was going up and we wanted to buy. So if I went to new order, and this is your lot size right here. We'll talk about that in a minute. Go to buy. Okay, you see I placed a trade, a buy order for 0.10, that stands for $1 per pip, on this currency pair at this price, and it was successful. You click OK. Now notice that this is showing up down here in our trade window because this is the trade tab. Okay. So any orders that you place will show up right here. You can see the balance over here is moving. And within this, and the reason why I put this trade on is because I want to show you guys this line right here inside of the trade tab. It's going to show you your order number. It generates your order number. It tells you the time that you place the trade, time and date. It tells you the type of order you place. We placed a buy order. It tells you the size, 0.10. This is the lot size. 0.10 is saying for every 1 point it moves in the market, it is going to fluctuate by $1. What does that mean? 106.173. Now the 3 on the end is just a counter. It counts to 10 and then it flips. So we kind of we look at it, but we don't really factor it in when we're counting pips. So this is 17.3. If it goes up to 18.3, 106.183, that would be 1 pip. And it would be, since we're trading $1 per pip, because we have it set at 0.10, then we would make $1 minus your commission. Okay. Now the stop loss is, let's say, the stop loss is the point in which we say we want the trade to close if it goes against us. So let's say we wanted to say if the trade went to this level right here, this 106.98, we could double click and we could put in a stop loss. So let's say for this, we will do, what did we say, 106. Okay. Let's go back in this and do, you see it here, stop loss, 106, we'll just say 00. Highlight this and just delete it. All right, modify. So now what this is going to do, you see this red item on the chart, this red line on the chart. This tells me, if I hover over it just a little bit, it tells me that my profit will be negative $16.39. A stop loss is there for you to set the system to stop yourself from losing money, basically. And I know you guys probably already know this, but for those who don't, I just want to mention that. And I'm just hovering over this line, and I'm not clicking or anything, and it tells me the potential loss is $16.39. Okay. Now this is not a guarantee that this will stop you out or close a trade at this point, I mean, if the market gaps way down here, sometimes it could blow straight past your stop loss and you could lose more money. One of the things we talk about and you'll see on the when we go into trading the live account, we don't necessarily set this stop loss. We just kind of we watch the trade until it reaches the point where we would like to get out, and then we close the trade out. All right, so the opposite of the stop loss is a take profit, which is over here on this side. You see it says take profit. So this says once we reach a certain profit level, we will take profit. So remember I said if it hits 18.3, we would close it, well, we will be at 1 pip. So let's say you wanted to do 18.3 just for 1 pip. Let's say you want to make 70 cents. We can set this here at 18.3, 106.183, and it'll be the opposite. So let's set it a little bit higher. Let's set it for 106.20. So now you have a stop loss set and a take profit set. This is a take profit here, and you see if you hover the mouse over, it says you could potentially make $2.45. Okay, so that's what a take profit is. The price is the current price. That is the price. You see it's 106.173. 106.173. The commission is the commission they charge you, and swap is the interest rate that they will charge you if you hold this overnight. Okay, so let's look at that real quick. USD/JPY, and you can also adjust this if you wanted to. If you want to see the symbol, you can move it over. Let's see, you can move it over. You may have to move everything over because the window may not be big enough. So you can take this and drag it over if you wanted to. There we go. Now, for each one of these currency pairs, you can right click and go to specification. All right, and this is what pops up. It's going to tell you about the spread, which is the difference between the bid and the ask price. It's going to tell you about the digits. That's just talking about the number of digits in the currency pair. The contract size, 100,000. Margin currency, United States dollar. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Let's scroll down to swap. All right, so swap long, swap short. 3-day swap, Wednesday. All right, so the swap long, if you were to get in this position and you were to hold this position until the next day, you would collect swap. If you're trading a standard lot size, which is 1.0, see we traded 0.10 down here, that's only $1 per pip. But if we traded 1.0, that is considered a standard lot, and that means for every point in the market that it moves, it will reflect in your account by $10. So in our example, if we go from 17.3 to 18.3, that would be $10 that the account would have gained minus the commission, which would have been a little bit higher. Now we would not want to do $10 per move if we're only trading with a $50 account, because what happens if it goes just 4 or 5 points against us? If we're trading $10 a pip, then our account will be wiped out. All right, so this is swap long. If you hold this trade overnight, the swap is interest. You will be charged, you would collect interest because that number is positive. Swap short is -13. That's high. So that means if you're in a short position and the day rolls over, you're going to pay interest. All right, so this is important to understand or learn, and we'll talk about this later. But this is important to know because if, let's just say somebody's trading with, $10 million. If somebody's trading with $10 million and they are penalized because they're in a short position, well, toward the end of the day or before the end of the day, what are they going to do? They're going to dump those shares. So if they dump those shares, if you're in a short position and you dump shares, then what do you have to do? You have to buy the shares back. And short means to sell, long means to buy. All right, so if you're in a sell position and you notice the day is going to roll over and the interest rate is this high, you're going to buy back those shares, which is going to push price a little higher at some point. Um, so that's what swap is, the interest, and that's why this is here. Sometimes if you hold the trade, if you're not really trading with a high lot size, then this, let's say I held this trade overnight, this swap would be, um, I mean, I wouldn't collect much. I mean, so it may be a few cents, maybe 20 cents maybe or something, maybe 15, 20 cents maybe, because I don't have a large position size. So the profit, of course, you guys know is the profit or loss that you're making. So right now I'm in profit 28 cents, but if you factor in the commission, I'm down by 2 cents, and it just flipped to positive 8 cents. But this takes into account your profit minus your commission, and this is going to tell you where you are. All right, so that is the trade window. The exposure is going to tell you the currency pairs. It's going to list the currency pairs that you've traded. And it's going to tell you this is the lot size. This is some other information about the currency pairs in your account. Okay, your account history. So it's going to just show the $50 now, but once we close the trade out, it will show us the history of what we bought and sold. News, self-explanatory. If there's any news that comes out. Alerts. If we have any alerts on the chart, the alerts would show up here. And let's just do this to set the alert. Let's say I want to set an alert. Let's say I want to know when this price hits this area right here. I can hold the mouse there, right click, trading, and alert. Okay. So now, and you can see the little red arrow right here. If this price comes up to here, it is going to make a noise. And let me open this up real quick just to show you guys here. This is what the alert box looked like. And I just double click this this little arrow right here. You can test this alert. All right, you can also the maximum iteration. So you know when price hits this point, it'll come down, hit it again. It'll fluctuate and hit this point several different times. So if you want it to sound off 5 different times, every time it hit the alert until it reaches the maximum, then you can leave it at 5. If you want to just hit that point and stop, you can put it at 1. You have to be cautious about this if you're setting an alert, because you know you have a bid price and you have an ask price. All right, so this is saying if the sell price is greater than 106.19, then alert. So make sure you understand what that means, or make sure you understand that you know what it means or what you're placing your alert for. So let's go to, let me show you, let's go to new order just to look at the bid and ask price. So over here's the bid price. The bid price is at 18.3. All right. So if I set this alert for greater than 18.3, I would have to wait for the bid price to be greater than 18.3. And the bid price is the price that you'll see here. But if I set the alert for the ask price to be higher than 18.9, then this price right here is going to be, it'll probably be lower. It'll be lower before, and this will actually kick off, even though it's not, price is not where you want it to be. So let's say I set this alert right now, and I'm trying to pinpoint this where this arrow is, and I set this alert to ask price greater than 106.19. Well, the ask price may reach 106.19, but remember there's a spread. So the true price, the price where you would have to close your position out, may not be 106.19. The point in which you close your position out, even though your alert is set to 106.19, may be 106.8, because remember, you have to, if you buy into a position, which we did here, we bought the position at 106.174. When we go to sell, We don't sell at this price over here, this 106.19. We sell at this 106.18.3 price. So if I wanted to close this trade out right now, I would sell at this price, 106.18.3. And it would be the opposite if I was to enter into a sell position. I would be closing at the ask price. So anyway, and let's talk about closing the position for the first time real quick. So this is, let's say we're up $1, almost $1. This is going up. Let's say we want to get out. All right, there you can't see there's an arrow right here. I'm sorry, there's an X right here. We could click the X beside this price right here to close, or you could just right click, close order. All right, so the first time you close the order, let me drag this over, you'll get this box. Okay, this box is a disclaimer. Talks about one-click trading. You can read that before you accept. Check the box, click OK. All right, and I thought it would close out after that, but I guess they want you to accept. So we close the order. The order is closed. And you remember we talked about the history panel? Now the order shows up in the history panel right here, telling us that we made, let me drag this over because okay, there we go. It's telling us that we made $1.04. Now this should be at $51.04, but remember, we had commission of 30 cents. Where's that commission? Okay, it's not showing in here. Okay, that's okay. So we made $1.04. We paid our commission of 30 cents, and now this is our new balance, $50.74. If we go back over to the trade tab, $50.74 is now what we have to trade with. All right, let's move this. Try to get this back in the window here. All right, so we talked about alerts. Mailbox, we talked about the mailbox. It's your messages. You double click and open these. This is from your platform, Mt4. This is from your broker, Trader's Way. Market. All right, so the MQL5.com website, they have a market. Inside of this market, you can buy all kinds of stuff. All right, you can buy, I'll pull this up already. This is the MQL community. So as you can see, you can buy all kinds of stuff. You can buy signals. You can buy, let's click on market here. This is where it pulls from right here, the market. You can buy robots, expert advisors. Be very cautious. Half of these robots, I mean, they're talking about $12.99. This stuff doesn't. A lot of these don't work. And even a lot of the reviews sometimes can be kind of skewed. So be very careful. And if you do want to buy a robot, make sure you don't just fork out $1,300 or $299 for a robot, because the money is gone even though it doesn't work. And also, a lot of these people will allow you to test out their robot, like a trial period, before you buy it. But a lot of these over the long term, they don't really play out. That's why they charge so much money. I mean, like for example, this one, and I don't know if this works or not, but I'm just giving an example. This person is charging $1,000. So, you know, they sell 500 of these at $1,000. Well, they've made their money, and even though it doesn't work, they've ran away with the money, and they just go on to creating another bot or expert advisor. So be very, very careful. Make sure you do your research. But this marketplace here is going to be, you can buy indicators as well, but this marketplace is going to be the same marketplace that pulls into this area. Signals, you can buy signals. It's loading right now. Okay, so you can buy trading signals. This is articles. All this stuff right here pulls from, there we go. So this is just pulling from the website we just looked at. The signals that you can buy, you can also offer signals as well. And it gives you the stats over here. It tells you this person's won 1,900 trades or so. and max drawdown is 48%. So let's say we're looking at this saying we think this is going to go up, but it goes down first and then goes up. Well, if we're in the negative $50, or I'm sorry, if we're in the negative $25 and it goes up and we win, let's say $1 or make $1, even though we made $1, we had a drawdown of $25. So we had a drawdown of 50% of our account. So at some point, 50% of our account was at risk. So that's not good. So that's what that is. And articles, this stuff all pulls from the MetaTrader's MQL5 website. Now, journal, this is good to know because if you have any errors, run into any errors on your account, this is going to be the journal, or kind of like a log that tells you. See, it tells you. You remember that box that popped up where we had to agree to the disclaimer? It tracks it. It tracks our buy. Okay. It tracks our modification. Remember when we modified the account to place a stop loss and take profit? Tracks all of this stuff. So if anything happens, let's say you try to place a trade here and it doesn't go through, and you want to know what's going on behind the scenes, this is the logs right here. Journal. Go in here and look at that. All right. So let's fly through these up here real quick. So let's see. We talked about this one. We talked about the terminal. Strategy tester. It comes with the strategy tester. If you create an expert advisor, you can test the expert advisor. Let's say I wanted to test this one. I created this Fire Ice Forex Shadow. We would come here, Euro USD. We can leave that the same. The period, meaning the time frame you want to test this on, you can do 1 hour. H1 is the 1 hour chart. Just telling you the time frame of the chart that you want to test this on. So inside of this program, I think the parameters may be looking at like a moving average. May say if price crossover something, then sell. If it crossover something the other way, buy. I don't remember what this is, but it's old. So let's go to visual mode. Visual mode means it's going to, as it runs this, it's going to show us what it's doing. This is a speed, so we want to go as fast as possible so it can get done quick. We do want to use dates, so we want to use a date of today's 9/10. So let's just use a current date of 9/8 and then the current date. So it's going to look at the date between September the 8th and September the 10th, and it's going to run this expert advisor on this pair on the hourly chart for us. And then all we do is, see if I can click on this without messing the video up. Hit this button. Okay, and there's the program. The program just entered into a buy position. Okay, and it closed close it out here. So now what I'm going to do, these are the results down here from this thing we just ran. So we go to results. This is telling you what it bought. It placed a standard lot here, and the profit was $80.85. Shows you the graph, the profit graph, and this is the report. This is the number of bars in the test. The total net profit was $161.70. The absolute drawdown is $1,406.30. Total trades, it took 2 trades. Now, you don't see the other trade here. I think it only took 1 trade. And we'll go back and look and see. Maybe that is 2 trades. I just can't see it. But anyway, gross profit 161. Max drawdown $1,500 or $1,523. And the profit $80.85. And it tells you the number of trades you won. It says consecutive wins 2, consecutive losses. Let's see, consecutive wins 2. This is right here. It tells you how many you won, and it tells you that your loss is 0. And this is just to test out. The strategy tester is to basically test out a strategy. So you create an expert advisor using a program, and then you come over here and you compile it, save it, and you run it. You test it out. Then if it works out for you or you like the way it looks, you can run it on a live account if you want to. But anyway, that's a strategy tester. New order, we looked at this already. If you want to place an order. And also this strategy tester, it leaves this chart up. So we would need to come here and take that chart off of here. And you'll know the one that the strategy tester put on the screen because it'll say visual here. So we'll just close that out. Let's organize these again. All right, so we click on new order if we want to create a new order. We've already looked at that. The language editor also ties into the expert advisor, and I'll open it up to show you. This program, MetaTrader 4, comes with a compiler. If you guys don't know, when you write code, something or a program has to compile that code before it runs. This is MetaTrader 4's compiler right here. All right, so what you guys want to do if you create a, once you watch the video, go to my YouTube channel and watch the video. Once you create the program, whatever program you want to use, using the third-party website, you copy the code, paste it in here. You would wipe all this stuff out and paste it in here. And you can see it's EA Builder is what you can use. And you can go to my YouTube channel and watch those videos if you're interested in this. But this gets pretty interesting and pretty fun if you want to play around with it. But this is just a compiler, so you can bring that up by the button we just looked at. This is the virtual server. So the virtual server is going to be your, you can run an instance of MT4 on a server that doesn't go down, that continues to run. Now, why would you want to do that? It goes back to your expert advisor, this automated trading program of this robot. Remember, if we create a robot or expert advisor and we have it on a live chart, in order for that to run, our computer has to stay up and our program has to stay open 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. So if I create a program and I want the program to run for a month, I want to be able to shut my computer down. So I want to set up a virtual private network, or I want to run my expert advisor on an account on a server. So what that'll do is, when I run that on a server, is going to allow my program to continue running even though I shut the program over here down or shut my computer down. That's very important because you do not want to ever run your computer non-stop for a month. And actually I did that and I burned the hard drive out of my computer. Learned the hard way. Register account as a source of trade signals. Again, this goes back to the marketplace down here. The market. You can actually offer signals if you wanted to subscribers, and they will pay you, or you can charge. So they'll pay you. And let me show you. Actually, here's a signals link right here. Subscribers. This person has 123 subscribers, paying $30 a month. This person has 88 subscribers, paying $30 a month. So you can go through here and see kind of how they do stuff. So at some point he has 627 subscribers, but it's free. So you can set up as many accounts as you want to and offer subscriptions at whatever price you want to. Most of these are $30, but this guy had here's a $70. You don't have any subscribers. But that gets pretty interesting. So once you get pretty good at trading, you want to offer signals. You can definitely do that through this platform, through the market. All right, so auto trading, we talked about that. This has to be enabled if you want the expert advisor to run on your account. And this is the end of this menu right here. Now we get over to this menu. This is your chart. So if you want to switch your chart type, this is a bar chart, candlestick chart, line chart. We usually trade with the bar chart. I'm sorry, we usually trade with the candlestick chart. Now this is going to be your zoom in, zoom out. So you can zoom in or zoom out. And then we talked about this button that arranges the tiles. So you can see everything. And you can open up a different window if you want to. Or click it and go back to your other window. This is going to be for the end of the chart. We got to zoom in to see what this does. Let's put it back here. This right here, scroll the chart. It says scroll the chart to the end on tick incoming. So every time price changes, it is going to make sure that your chart is scrolled all the way over to the right. If I take this off, okay, let me show you this. So if I try to go back to look at previous information and a tick takes place with that button pressed, see, it automatically threw me back to the end of the chart. So I have to take this button off so it won't do that. price is still going to move, but it won't move your chart. So I can go all the way back without it doing that. So put this button on and it flips right back to the end of the chart. This button, when I press it, it just puts space in between here so I can see the chart better. All right, and then these indicator list, this is just a list of indicators. And we'll talk about if you want it to end. So there's two ways to put an indicator on the chart. You can go here, select your indicators. Or you can go down here to indicators and move it over to your chart this way. All right, so this right here, you can also select indicators. This right here is your time frame, which is the same as this over here. If you want to switch to a 4-hour chart, you can. Now each bar represents 4 hours. Now each bar represents an hour, 30 minutes, a day, week, month. All right, and this is your templates. This is similar to a profile. If you wanted to create a template, then you can also create a template. A template is when you go in and mess with the chart and want the chart to show up the same way. So for example, I can go in here and remove the grids. Let's go right click, grid, and right click and go down to properties. And I want to change the color of, let's say, a bull candle. I don't want it to be black. Let's say I want it to be red. Let's change it to red. Bull candle. Okay, bar up. Also red. Okay. The bar is the inside of the candle. The bull candle is going to be the outside. So you click OK, it changes the color. And if I wanted to save this, let's say I wanted to save this as a template, I could right click, go to template, and go to save template. And I can name it demo. All right, so now when I come in here, if I have, let's say if I go to another chart, or if I even close the program, go to chart window. If I wanted to load that same setup on this chart, I just right click, or you can use this button, and I go down and find my demo template and I click it, and look at that. It puts that template on this chart. And of course, along the bottom of this chart, you have the time frames or the time. Then over here, you have the price. All right, let me move this back over here. All right, this is, we talked about this, the different time frames that you want to select that represent the bars in the chart. So if I wanted to see, if I wanted each bar to represent 1 minute, this is what it would look like. We normally trade with the 1 hour chart or the 4-hour chart, and we look at the daily chart for analysis. But the lower you go looking at these charts, the more you can be manipulated. So for example, the 1 minute chart, this may look like it's going up or shooting up, but you will notice that it could fake you out very easily. Okay, so it's easy to get faked out using those lower time frames. This over here is your line studies. Right now we just have it on arrow, so you see I can point to different things with the arrow, regular mouse arrow. This is your crosshair, so see, I can pinpoint different parts on the chart. If I click here, if I hold the mouse here and click, I'm holding it down, I'm dragging down, it's going to tell me how many bars. So 26 tells me how many bars that I've been over. So let's say I go just 1 bar over, I'm 1 bar over. All right, the middle, the 12 is showing me how many pips. So if I go all the way down here, this is 14 pips. Remember that last digit at 143, that last digit is just a counter from 1 to 10, but I'm really only down 14 pips looking at the first 2 digits. All right. The very last number, the 125,698, that's just the price. It's the price over here. So now the cursor is at 125.557. That's all that is. This is just lines. I clicked it. I dragged the mouse over. I don't hold anything down. I'm just dragging the mouse over, and then I click, and it puts a line on the chart. If I wanted to do that, if I double click and right click, I could delete. Same with this. Click once, drag the mouse to, let's just say, a support level. Say a support level. Click. Now the support line is on the chart. Double click. And I'm double clicking and making sure I see these little points right here. Right click, delete. Same thing with this. Now for this, I do have to click here, hold the mouse down, and move this up and down where I want it. This is for your trend line. Alright, this, you can draw a channel. Again, I have to hold the mouse down once after I click and move the channel. I can draw a channel. Let's say I want it to be here, double click on it, and take this middle line here to move the whole channel, and now I can put a channel here if I want it to. If I wanted to bring this down, I click on this line in the middle, bring it down. This line is to move it up and down. Alright, right click, delete. Okay, that's the channel. This is the Fibonacci Retracement. You can read about that. This is an indicator. Usually the way this works, you go from the lowest point to the highest point. Say from here all the way up to the highest point. It's going to put the levels on your chart or lines on your chart. So remember this from here to here. Let's say the market was over here. None of this was on the chart. People use this to try to determine when the next when price will bounce. So we see that even if none of this is on the chart, we drew the Fibonacci retracement. We see that it eventually came down to this level right here, which they call it a Fibonacci level, and it bounced back up to this level, then back down to this line or whatever. So some people use that. It's just an indicator. All right, let's see if I can get this off the chart. That was just my mouse not double clicking it. Right click, delete. All right, so this is just a text box. You click on it, come to your chart, and click where you want the text box. And the name of the text box, we'll just say demo. Now the name of the text box is going to be different than the text itself. So if you put demo here and put demo here, it'll show up as demo, but whatever you put here is what's going to show up on your chart. And of course you can change the text color if you wanted to. Click OK, and there it is. You click it once. If you want to move it, you just hold it and drag up. Gotta double click this thing and then drag it over somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Text box demo. All right, this is for draw your text. This is for arrows. If you want to put an arrow on the chart, thumbs up, you can use these. On the chart. Alright, so I'll show you a few more things and then this video is going to come to a close. Let's go and look at talked about a lot of this stuff. Let's go and look at tools. The history center is going to be if you wanted to add historic data for testing in the strategy tester, because you'll notice if you try to run a test on some data, it won't pull the information. So if you go in here, that will not be in here, so you got to double click to pull that history in here. The options is also important. This is going to be, got different tabs here, different things about your chart. If you want to show your ask line, you use that. Ask is the price over here. Notifications. Now this is what a lot of people use if you want to enable push notifications to your cell phone after you download the mobile device and log in. This walks you through how to add push notifications to your phone. A push notification is going to be after you place a trade, it'll send that to your phone and let you know that you placed a trade. And also enable email, so where they'll email you, and FTP server. You probably won't use this. But you may need to know where this is if you ever want to link your account to another platform. Which, for example, a website called I think it's MyFXBook. A lot of people link their account to that website to show their progress and their trading stats. So it'll walk you through how to push out information from your account using an FTP server. Okay, and that's the close of this video. I know it was long, guys, so you may have to go back through this video at some point and play around with the platform. But in the next video, now that we've gotten this out the way, we're going to walk through placing a trade, and we'll place multiple trades on this same account. And it'll be similar to the trade we placed earlier, but we're going to place multiple trades just so you guys can get a feel for placing your first trade. All right, see you guys in the next video.